And now to go even deeper into the relevance of this democratic process in Saint Lucia, we invite from the south, David McDonald Denny from the Barbados chapter for the Anti-Fascist International. Welcome, Denny, to From the South.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you.
How would you describe the political landscape in Saint Lucia amid these general elections?
Well, I'm looking for a victory for the Saint Lucia Labour Party, but we must also understand that the United States of America is playing a major role in our Caribbean elections because they just played a major role in the St. Vincent election where the U.S. imperialism made sure that a progressive prime minister like Ralph Gonsalves was removed. And we know that they did a similar thing also in Trinidad and Tobago, and they will be trying their best to remove the St. Lucia Labour Party from power in St. Lucia. So we have to be guarded against that kind of behavior in the English-speaking Caribbean region.
And also with the U.S. launching an unprecedented deployment of military forces in Caribbean waters, what impact do you think this could have on Saint Lucia's democratic process? What concerns are emerging within the population regarding this regional context?
For us in the Caribbean region, we have always defended our region as a zone of peace. But you know that there are some right-wing and reactionary politicians in our region that will join with the United States of America so as to help them to create the conditions for us to be threatened in our region. And I must also explain this whole situation in relation to the United States of America in our waters. This is not something that we are accustomed to. And a number of fishermen in our region, especially the southern part of the Caribbean, are now afraid to fish in the Caribbean Sea. And because of that, a number of them are going through serious economic problems because of this behavior by the United States of America to take over the Caribbean Sea and to take advantage of our fishermen. Now, I'm hoping that this will help to strengthen the position of the St. Lucian voters, because they're not only voting for St. Lucia, they're voting for the entire Caribbean region. And that is to keep out these reactionary parties from taking state power in our region.
And in this context you just described, with rising geopolitical tensions in the Caribbean, how important is regional unity for Saint Lucia and its neighbors? What steps are needed to ensure that the region remains cohesive despite these external pressures you just mentioned?
Well, the first thing I think that our governments need to do is to create some level of political consciousness among the masses so that they will better understand what is happening in our region, because this maneuver by the United States of America threatens the lives of every Caribbean man and woman. When you look at it, it's not only the traditional military hardware, but you also have nuclear weapons in our region that threaten the lives of our people in the Caribbean. And what the United States of America is doing is destroying one of our main industries in the region, which is the fishing industry, and therefore I think that the progressive politicians in our region, including the former Prime Minister of St. Vincent, Ralph Gonsalves, must take a very strong position against the United States of America for its behavior and action in our region, because I was also like to say that Venezuela is a friend of the Caribbean people. When we needed Venezuela gave us an opportunity to participate in the Petro-Caribbean Agreement. One of the countries that benefited from that project was Guyana, where they were able to trade through a barter system rice for oil. So Venezuela have always been there by the Caribbean people whenever there's a disaster in terms of helping our people. And today we must stand up together and unite our forces against this form of U.S. imperialism in our waters.
Thank you very much, David, for your remarks, your analysis in this context.
Thank you also.